Today's a special episode on my channel because I'm not just going to show you some cars, I'm going to show you where I keep the cars. So welcome to my home. This, to the untrained eye, is just a regular old laundry room, but to me it's something a little different because this is the gateway to what I consider my mid-1990s classic Acura showroom. So I'll take you a little bit through the space, show you what's on display there, and you can let me know what you think. Thanks for coming along. And don't forget, I'm wearing appropriate clothes here. This is a souvenir shirt from the 2016 National Acura Legend Meet, which was held in Atlanta. And I'm proud to be sporting this to take you on my little guided tour. I decided to border the ceiling of this room with license plates. Some are from my former cars or current cars. Others are just donated from friends. Thank you, Alex, for that cool Acura Illinois plate. Just a hodgepodge and a wide variety here. My first car was a 1986 Chevy that had the plate Huggies. Seems appropriate, right? From my last name. So in fact, that car does have its own little tribute here on the wall. That's my Pride and Joy 1986 Classic. It had bench seats front and rear and a 2.8 liter carbureted V6. These are a couple of articles that I was featured in. This one was from Acura Style magazine shortly after I got the ILX in 2012. This is another one a little bit after that. You notice it's all in Japanese, from a magazine called Acura Mag that I was featured in. Special recognition to my friend Connor and his beautiful TSX named Vanessa. Thank you, Connor, for your perpetual support. Random community college newspaper that they used one of my legend pictures in there. And we have to pay homage to the original tried and true 89 Prelude SI that got my Honda addiction started. That's my dad and his brother Brian back in the day. Dad was a car guy too, so it sort of runs in the family. These posters up here are Radwood posters, so I like them because NSX, SLX, and Integra, I have all three of those cars, so I felt it was appropriate to display them. The magazines that I put out here are just random ones that I picked from over 100 that I have in a collection. I just decided to display those that I thought were sort of relevant. This is a collection of exclusively NSX Hot Wheels. You've all seen this a couple of times, but it's a showcase that I bought a couple of years ago and assembled because I needed a place to put some little trinkets and special little keepsake items. The little mirrored keychain there with my name on it, that's from my first car, so that's at least 22 years old. Everything else is kind of just in random order. The badge there, the H badge, is from my original 89 Prelude SI. Some really cool model cars over here. Even a die-cast ILX there. The body shop there is off of a train set that I used to play with when I was 14 or 15. Some micro machines there. You guys remember micro machines with that guy that talked really fast on the commercial. Other cool stuff, some Legend memorabilia, NSX models, a Prelude model. This blue binder is actually really cool because it has a carpet and paint sample that was approved for dealerships. So if you ever wanted to really abide by the corporate guidelines, you had to take note of what was mentioned in there. Some other random things, this red and white Acura band is off of a limited run of helmets that was produced for Mr. Ayrton Senna himself, F1 champion, and I got a hold of it from a friend and colleague inside Honda. These are some awards from over the years at National Acura Legend meets and other car shows. The phone there is it's a factory accessory for a 91 to 95 Legend. And what collection is complete without some DVDs and VHS tapes? Promo stuff back in the day, and there's a CD-ROM with an advertising planner for 1995. The bookcase here contains primarily repair manuals, also some vintage issues of older magazines, like if you guys remember, Acura Style magazine or Acura Driver at that time was a thing. Here's one of my faves. Thank you, Jeff, for this. He sent me a book called Crap Cars. This was some kind of cool stuff. I got a hold of the actual Kelley Blue Book Awards, excuse me, for 2018. There's the entry-level luxury car and luxury brand awards, and these things are heavy. They came in huge boxes. The 1994 Honda Accord Motor Trend Import Car of the Year, a friend donated that to the collection, just for fun. Here's where I keep my records binders, so OCD alert, I don't have binders that match one another and it's killing me. Someday though. You've seen these before as I've featured them in various videos about the cars themselves. And future projects, and I don't know in what order that video will come out, but I'm putting together a display case for all my brochures. This is just a small snapshot of them. I have 4 times this many in this closet just waiting to be put on display. So with that, I welcome you back in time to 1995. If you'll look to your right, there's a video playing. This is a series of Acura commercials. Over 140 commercials playing in loop sequence from the 1990s. This one looks to be a bigger feature. Let's turn the volume down just a touch so we can have a conversation in here. Nice to add to the ambiance. Some random artwork here. I liked this full line picture from a magazine there. Shout out to some of my friends and affiliates in the YouTube and car communities. Rick, Patrick, thanks guys. I'm pretty pleased with how my new sign turned out. I'll give you a little up close and personal on that in a little bit. It was kind of a project that I'd wanted to do for some time. The open sign down at the far end is more just a joke. I have that sign from another activity recently and decided it was okay to put it in here. So here you go. The garage is about 1,000 square feet. When I originally bought this house 3.5 years ago, there was a wall that kind of split down the middle here that we had to tear down. Luckily it wasn't a load-bearing wall, but my intention all along was to make this into car parking. Now, I don't intend for today's video to feature much about the cars themselves, but rather the space that they're in. A few of you will remember about 1.5 years ago, I went through a garage flooring redo. So this is a 3-step process that involved a base coat primer, followed by the metallic Quicksilver product, and then the top coat is a clear polyurethane. I am happy to report that it's held up fairly well. I do believe it to be a little bit higher maintenance than I initially thought it was going to be. It shows every dust speck, it shows tire treads, footstep treads, and it is a little bit difficult to keep it from scratching. You know, think about coming in here with cars that have pebbles in their tires and things like that. It is prone a little bit to scratching that way. However, I think for aesthetics, it's my favorite finish just because it adds a little element of showroom luxury in here, which is kind of what I was going for. Some of these pictures and posters I'd had for years without a reason or place to hang them up, so now here I finally am able to display them. I love some of these advertisements. This one says, "Go to the head of the upper class," with the 94-95 Cashmere Legend Coupe. Some of these pieces of art are magazines that the cars were featured in. Others are memories from road trips, like when I drove the ILX to Alaska in 2016. That was my Fantastic Fives celebration with my buddy Josh up in Boise, who rolled all 5s on his TSX the same day as my Legend. There's NS Expo 2015 in Palm Springs. Some posters that were donated from friends. And one more article. This one's from 2014 with the Legend Coupe. Thank you, Mark, for that. I decided to display some of my plates from dealerships. A friend was on vacation in Hawaii and brought me an Acura Maui that I thought was kind of cool. This is the sign that I recently did up. It took quite a bit of effort because it came as an unpainted 3D foam lettering that I had to prime paint with acrylic and then clear coat, but it turned out really nice, and I added a little lamp just above it. That picture below it is from my friend John. Before I had an NSX, we were using his black NSX for that photo. These are a collection from my buddy Darren at idrewyourcar.com or importarchive.com. He does a really cool job of digitally rendering photographs of cars. So if you have a need for such artwork, hit him up. The poster or banner here needs no introduction. This dates back to 2011 when I rolled 500,000 miles in the Legend Coupe. Rolled this thing up right after and brought it home, and it's been on display in my garage ever since. The red carpet runner and velvet ropes are more just for fun. I actually have used this more for non-car stuff than for car stuff. My mom flew down in January and I put out the red carpet in a literal sense when I brought her home from the airport, so she loved that. This piece of art is a custom digital rendering of my NSX from my friend Rashid, which is very cool. More pictures from a photo shoot that I did with my buddy John back in the day. That was shortly after I got my NSX. You notice I used to have the 17-inch 02 to 05 wheels on it for a while. This is one of the oldest pictures I took. This has got to be about 2006 or 7 when I had my 19-inch Racing Heart wheels. And this one's kind of special. It commemorates our 15 years of the National Acura Legend Meet. I've been to every single one of them. That's pretty much the rundown of the collection as it sits today. This garage is on the east side of my property, and it luckily doesn't get super hot. We are in Phoenix, but there's a high volume of insulation in the attic here. And you notice I have the 3 ceiling fans, so if I get all those cranking, it's not too bad, not too uncomfortable in here. So that's gonna do it. Thanks for coming through my tour. I hope if you are ever in the Phoenix area, you'll reach out to me and stop by so you can sign my guest book. It's kind of a tradition I've had since I bought the house that I encourage people to document their visit. So you're all more than welcome to stop by, and maybe I'll even throw you keys to one of these old cars for a spin. Take it easy.